Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this new series that I'm calling Get Her Done. I, of course, forgot Larry the Cable Guy's name when I mentioned it the other day. So somebody luckily reminded me in the comments. Anyway, if you watched the two-part video about the pink ombre journal, you know that at the end of one of those videos, or the second video, I picked this little paper that would dictate my next project. So I've done some work on it. I'll show you what I've done so far. Well, this is what the cover looks like, minus the stray threads. And this is another one of those sheer fabrics. It was like a bathing suit cover-up that I got my hands on and, excuse me, repurposed it. Same style as the last one on cardstock. So I'll show you what I've done, and then the intention for today is to work on the cover, and I've pulled a few things together. It's surprising. It's almost like a treasure hunt when, I don't know about your place, but certainly here, when I start looking for the different things that I have that can work. And typically, I would say probably 9 times out of 10, my first consideration is color. So, I mean, I have a bit of a thing going on here and much more spread around on this table. I've used some of the things, and of course I've made those pieces kind of available so I can carry on. Anyway, okay, so this I learned from the last one. This one has only one signature, and I think I limited it to maybe 10 or 11 pages. So I'll tell you what this is. I made a pocket front and back. This was purple cardstock that I had done some decoupage, some napkins onto. So again, it's not really recognizable as such, but it kind of works. This was scrapbooking paper from who knows where. This was an old tag that I had made. I really like, no, not much of it is showing, but this is old gift wrap. So it's got that green, the purple, the yellow, and I embellished it. So I think that's a pretty good start to the book. Now in this one, in this journal, I think I stitched around virtually every page just for something different. This is nondescript, lightweight. I don't know if this would have come off a 12 by 12 or not, but anyway, it obviously came in some thrifted thing that I did. This was something that I found in my stash of finished ephemera or started ephemera. So basically, it's fairly heavyweight. Looks like I backed it with some book page. The book page kind of shows through. Made these little folds at the end. Did some decorating. Did, kind of mini collages on each side. And, of course, the colors are working beautifully here. Now, for now, I've just clipped it on with one of these paper clips as a reminder. That will get, sorry, I just want to stand up and see what you can see. That will get, replaced with something decorated. I saved several of these pages out of a fashion magazine book. And I picked out the ones, like every chapter, I think, had a different sort of, oh, this must be from another page. Oh, or maybe this was, yeah, there's the rest of her leg. Or there's her other leg. So I just used enough of that paper to cover this envelope. It was one of those 6-inch envelopes, which I thought I was so clever when I bought. But of course, it's too wide for most journals, so I end up having to cut the edge open, turn it into a pocket. And luckily, there was a purpley blue side as well. So this must be about closet and accessories. So this is a playing card that again has some napkin adhered to it and some coffee or avocado dyed paper. This looks to me like acrylic paint that I used on an index card, and you can see how flimsy this is, and obviously some feather stencils. Now, at some point, I might add some kind of a little tab or something there for people to make it easier to pull it out. This was, I'm not sure what. This is obviously a digital from someone, and again, I'm sorry that, like, for the first year or two probably that I've been doing this, I just would buy something, I'd print it, and I would cut it up. Didn't identify, didn't put it in a folder, didn't clip it together, didn't do anything like that. So if you know who this came from, like there were a series of these florals, I picked the blue one. This is, I think, really lovely paper that I dyed using a plastic placemat, I think, from the dollar store. Plain so far. Boy, these clips. This was just some sort of cardstock. Colors were right. That car colors were right. So I just basically, for now, have clipped this on here. Don't know if I'll do anything more to it or not. This has a bit of breakage there, or I might have to just ink that. It's not that serious, but it might look better if it had a little bit of ink on it. This is more of that same paper. And again, I have an awful lot of sewing thread. And so, yeah, sometimes it's a pain in the you-know-where to fill bobbins and change the top and bottom thread. But yet, I think it makes a difference. So on some pages I've used purple, and on this one I've used sort of a tealy color. This I salvaged from a bag. It's got some creases in it. I don't know, maybe I should ink it up or whatever. And this stuff, I bought, like it was sealed. I bought it at a town-wide garage sale a year or two ago. I don't know if you can tell. I didn't know what it was. The woman I was buying from didn't know what it was. And I should show you. These things were all brand new and carded, but of course didn't have very good explanations on them. So this is kind of what another one looked like. So it's basically paper. It's on a roll. So I don't know, non-adhesive washi tape thingam. I don't know. Anyway, so I experimented, and this is what, like it has an adhesive backing, and when you pull it off its backing, all those holes then become visible. And, oh, I see I've got a little guy that's needs to be picked off here. Anyway, so it just seemed like it was a good thing to use. I will be, and I've kind of turned that back to strengthen it. I will probably attach it right there, so that the nicer part of so that this will be a side pocket, and it won't cover up the decorative stitching. Otherwise, normally a person would do it like this, but this will work just as well. I just probably will have to be careful not to get too close to the edge of the paper. Coloring book paper that's been coffee dyed. Now this was, I think this was parchment paper that I coffee dyed. So I added this delicate little lace. I just glued it on. And I've been passing around this little package of these things. Now, part of me thinks, oh my God, that's so immature. It looks like it's like a little too cute for my liking. That fell off there. But it matches. Let me use it and be done with them. And maybe it's not, I mean, it's no different than if I'd have made a snippet myself. Anyway, I better speed up because I still want to do the cover. Now, this was a vellum envelope. It wouldn't have had this notch. I did a video on this, I think, during the 100-day project. So this came from one of those do-it-yourself wedding invitation kits. So I had stamped it on there. Of course, I forgot all about it. But I found it when I was looking for other things. So again, happy accident that it was done. Coffee dyed, ledger paper. This is, boy, these paper clips sometimes do a bit of number. Okay, so this is, again, some paper that had a bit of body to it, and of course bulked up when I, backed it. And it's kind of, well, I think the intention would be just to clip it onto the edge of the paper. A person takes it off, uses the space inside for writing. So, however a person does it, I suppose. I don't know how, I guess I just had it clipped like this, but I could also, I suppose, glue this on. It doesn't exactly flow though, does it? Okay, pretend that was glued on. So then the person opens this, opens this, opens it. Hey, that could work. Maybe I should do that right now before I forget. And then of course you've got the little design on this side. I think my Fabri-Tac is quite, the bottle is quite full, so it should flow nicely. We lose this inch or so of writing space, but so what? I'll just quickly glue that down. I hope that you are well. I'm taping this on a Saturday afternoon on the long weekend in August. And I suppose the choice was go outside, and I need to give it a little more room to bend here. The choice would have been to go outside and deadhead. I still have to do it, but I figured I'd better do the video while the light is a little better. Now, this isn't something that I do very often. Oh, that's letting go. Better do a little repair there. So this, I really like this atlas because if I remember correctly, was basically printed kind of almost borderless in the book. So it's like the map pages bled off the edge of the page. And anyway, I had sort of planned this little envelope pouchy thing. This is doubled for a little more strength. And all I did was leave it wide open so that I shouldn't be stressing this joint here. Anyway, hopefully you can see inside there. This is the center of the signature. Once, and that's embroidery thread that I used in this case to sew the book together. Anyway, once the signatures were sewn, the signature was sewn in, I then glued the two edges off the envelope, and it's a miracle. Okay, keep going. This is a napkin that I really love. I should probably, why don't I just use my blue, my dirty blue brush here. To emphasize all those creases and texture in this tag. Oh, I guess I should do a little decorating. You can see the barcode there. This was off some sort of packing material, I suppose. Some carded item was on there. I just thought that these colors seemed to work. And again, for now, it's just kind of in there. I mean, clipped in there, but I will probably at some point put some sort of a ribbon top or something on it, or maybe now that I've noticed this barcode, I might have to do a wee bit more decorating. Again, if you watched the last video, you know that I made this cover a wee bit too big, so again, I had to sort of stagger the heights of my paper so it didn't look too foolish. Again, this is the other, whoa. This is the other side of that silicone or parchment paper. Same lace, another little flower. And maybe that is as far as I've gotten. Oh, this was, maybe you can see, maybe you can't. This was the flap, and I trimmed it. I made it narrower. The flap off that 6-inch envelope that I showed you on the other side. So this was just some gift wrap that I've been hanging on to for a long time. I'm sure I'll decorate it further since there's sort of these imperfections in the printing. And, oh, this is another one of those purpley things. And I had used some metallic ink on there apparently. So anyway, this is another, now I don't know if this would have, this almost looks like maybe it would have been a, oh, it was probably intended to be glued down because the back isn't finished. So I'll either cover that. I guess I'll cover that because I just want to have it in the pocket. Anyway, this almost looks to me like something that Rachel at Roxy Creations would have come up with. This was essentially a book page, a really lovely book that had a lot of collage look type pages. So I folded this back, or these, sorry, these might have just been splattered. Okay, so it's again a metallic-y, inky color there. I can't tell if I covered that. Yeah, I must have folded this up to make these two pockets. Removed the little notch there for ease of folding. Stuck these two little digitals in. Added a butterfly. Decorated the front with a little collage. Again, all in the same colors, but I'll put it this way as a reminder to do something about the back. Anyway, so that's the story there. So finally, at the 18-minute mark, we start talking about the cover. So you can see I have a whole bunch of stuff here. I was doing, what the heck was I doing? I think I was slow stitching or something, and it made me look in a cupboard that I haven't looked in lately. And that's where I realized, oh, yes, I did move a lot of my fibers and crochet thread and embroidery thread and all that stuff there. So I found things like this. So you can just see that this is going to be perfecto. So again, I'll throw it in that plastic bin as a reminder. I found this and this. Now, I have no idea. There was lousy packaging, but you see I paid all of 50 cents each. This is stretchy. So this may end up being, one of these may end up being the closure. Now this cardstock looks like it was pretty dark. So I think what was white on the fabric is reading as, you know, maybe it's reading slightly other than what it actually is. So I don't know. I'm keeping that in mind. I found some rickrack that could maybe do as well. This piece of ribbon, satin ribbon. I was watching reading some comments that some of you had made about one of my 100-day projects using these shoe clips, or was it button covers? I can't remember what this one was, but a lot of people seem to like these clock faces. So I'm thinking, well, who knows? Maybe that can be worked into the cover as well. I found this, like I had pre-sorted some of my scrap ribbon into colors. So if I need something for a tag or whatever, at least it's a smaller little subsection to look through. So I'll put all that stuff aside for now. So another thing that I found as I was looking for ephemera was, again, spoiler alert, this was where did I put it? This was another, I think this was my finale for the 100-day project, and it was journal toppers made using these bird coasters, and they are, in my humble opinion, beautiful. And I thought, okay, that looks pretty good. That could work, because whatever this background color is, it seems to tie into the, the lightest color on there. But that almost seems like, ooh, that's too easy. We've got to work a little harder than that. So I gathered up a few other things, and I didn't know what I was going to use. I found this that is packaging, I guess, from an embossing folder. You can see how that could have been the base of something. I have no idea what this is. It's plasticky, so it probably would have been a pain in the butt to make anything stick to. Here's another coaster that just has been gessoed. Here is a giant puzzle piece that could have been the basis. But what I am choosing instead, I had several, well, this is only half the size, but I had several of these sort of, I guess somebody must have cut it on a Sizzix or something, these sorts of cardstock. That's what I'm trying to spit out. I don't use nearly enough lace, so I'm forcing myself to do that. Now this was a piece, like so. And I basically chopped it in half. Or maybe it goes like this. Yeah, that looks more like it. I had also used, now this could be pearl cotton. Although they don't usually come in balls like this. They typically come on a ball most of the time, but not like that. Anyway, I threaded a big-eyed needle and just basically ran a thread through some holes that happened to be there. It's not, this is probably the right side, although some of these sometimes it's, yeah, this is the right side. Just for a little spot of color, because I didn't know what I was doing at that point. Still don't. I found several of these that I had fussy cut. These are those foot and mouth artists calendars that or cards that a person sometimes gets in the mail. I have this that is one of those, I think the brand name or the corporate name for this are Wally's, like where you get these sort of these die cut images that are usually in 2 or 3 sizes, and I don't know if it's adhesive or not. Anyway, they're intended as wall decorations. I don't know if they still make them or not, but you see them every so often in a thrift store. So I have this. I have this purple lace that actually came off a tank top. And and I cut into, like I have this sheer scarf, and I'm thinking, oh, that could work. So I pre-cut a whole bunch of pieces that could be for fabric flips or clusters. But of course that red is like, look here, look here, look here. So what I was doing was sort of playing around with this. I want to, okay, let's see if I remember what I was going to do. I wanted to basically layer and layer and layer. This may need some roughing up around the edges just to make it look a little more random. I might have planned to put that there just for a little bit of white near the top. And, no, it kind of has to go this way because I had a plan for that butterfly to show. And of course, he'll do better against the white. I suppose I could cut those other guys off, but they're not hurting anything at this point. So for now, they get to live. Okay, so something to that effect. I should, you know what, I had an elastic here. See, there's really nothing much in this journal yet, but it kind of is a bit springy. Oh no, that's not gonna, well, no, let me use clips instead. Kind of hold this thing a little flatter. Sorry, I should have, I don't want anything too distracting color-wise or too in your face. Maybe this will work. Oh, or does it open wide enough? Yeah, maybe that'll do. Keep it a little flatter and I don't have to fight against it. Okay. Bringing the color top and bottom, making this butterfly visible. Adding this because you'll notice that there's some green and these painterly looking blues. Almost seems like I have more going on here than I have room for. Purple at some point. Again, I might have to get those sharp corners off there. And basically my intention was for this to cover that and me not, have to take an extra step to kind of figure out, oh, how am I going to cover that red rose? I'm just going to cover it, period. Now, I think that looks pretty darn interesting. I did do a teeny bit of blue ink around the edge of this hydrangea. Maybe I need to compress this a bit. It seems like it's covering the whole. Maybe that would be better. I almost feel bad that stitching might disappear, but hey, them's the breaks. How did I liked it better before I started showing you guys. Is everything just a wee bit too big? Oh my goodness. This is why. Okay, first of all, let's chop this down a bit. I won't lose all the green. Oh, you know what would be better? Why am I keeping it so regular? Let's tear this thing. And it won't look so. And if that has totally changed my plan, I guess we'll have to modify. We are dog sitting again this weekend. My daughter and her what do we call it? What do we call him? Partner. Are at some sort of a music festival that doesn't, excuse me, that doesn't allow dogs. So Gertie is here with us. And my husband who said, oh, it's not going to be a problem. Don't worry. He's MIA. So anyway, I always close the door to my office as a signal that, hey, there's something going on in here. Do not come in talking to me. So little old Gertie is catching some beauty rest in a dog bed outside my door. I mean, she could have slept inside here, but she was in a sunbeam. And hey, I can't do anything about moving sunbeams. So anyway, she's a French bulldog. She's very good. But, you know, like children, even if they're good, they still need a certain amount of care and attention. Initially, I didn't have this piece here. Did I have this on top of there? See, guys, this is why I like to try to figure things out before I turn the camera on, because I don't know that everybody really values this process. That looks too big and too regular. So now this sort of echoes that. I might have to fray up the edges off that little square there. Maybe this goes better here, although it will make it a little lumpier for gluing. Maybe this goes on top of the purple. Good grief. Sorry, guys. Maybe let's fray this a bit. I'm hoping I can just do it by sort of ripping a bit. Don't really like this fold in here either. It wants to do its own thing. Oh, brother. Okay, let's get rid of that lint. Maybe what's bugging me is the high contrast between the purple and the white. Huh. By the time I'm done here, I'll end up with postage-sized pieces of everything. I guess the beauty of chiseling this down a bit is that more of the this cover fabric shows. Maybe this butterfly needs to be here to lighten this up a bit. Good side, bad side. I don't know. Okay, so we're still covering, oh, this is the thread from this. We're still covering, I don't like that pointy thing, but that could be fixed. Okay, I think I need to sort of just trim around this. I could also make this smaller if necessary. It would help if I could. Okay, let's get around this corner a bit. This is too big, so let's cut. Why am I making this so lumpy? By hanging on to something that is... See, it would be nice if I could glue this hydrangea on. Didn't realize I covered all that green up, but I suppose it doesn't matter at this point. Okay. Oh, the more raggedy side there. Oh, I lost that. Cover this. Stick the blue back underneath. I'm almost at a loss for words, people. That seems a little too symmetrical, but let's not prejudge. Maybe it's just what the doctor ordered. Maybe that goes in this corner. And of course, there's nothing that says that I'm done. You know, I could also add something else once this is adhered. I think I may like this the best so far. Certainly not how I thought it was going to go. I think this is too big a chunk, so I'm just going to kind of randomly... Why do I keep doing it over my project? And if I have to find another butterfly, goodness knows I only have about a square yard of that, or no more, I can certainly do that. I can... I think I'm going to start gluing, otherwise we'll be here all day. And if it isn't particularly perfect or to my liking when it's all secured, I always have the option of adding something else. So enough fooling around here. So This will be probably the last piece to go down. So let's, oopsie. I'm going to do that like that, and I'm just going to use, maybe I'll stick with Fabri-Tac because I will have the bulkier, you know, the lacy bits, the fabricy bits to make work, so. Purpley stuff. Right about there. And again, you know, if you've seen me do this stuff before, I don't believe that every speck of every little thing has to be glued down to within an inch of its life, because a little bit of movement, a little bit of, you know, lifting or shadow creating will make it look more interesting, in my opinion. I mean, obviously you don't want it to fall apart in somebody's hands, but on the other hand, it doesn't have to be glued down, you know, again, like I say, to within an inch of its life. Okay, so if we did that, that glue will dry clear, luckily. I will add that probably, I could do it that way and then just rough up the, because this still isn't attached to the cover, so I could do, yeah, I don't like that straight edge there, but I can, you know, scuff that up a bit. So now, unfortunately, covers quite a bit of that tealy part, but now it seems like the red rose there is the least of my concerns. Okay, let's do it. And you notice I'm not daring to pick this up, because surely I would put it down someplace else. And again, if something needs to be trimmed or, you know, like I say, make it a little more ragged looking, I still have the chance to do that. Like I could get rid of that. Oh, I didn't think I was covering up all of that teal corner there. And you know what? I don't mind that little, I don't know if you see it, that little tiny dark red piece there. Okay, I'm gluing this down. Never thought you'd see the day, did you? shouldn't be doing too heavy-handed here, because you know it's going to squeeze, and then I'm going to be rubbing it. We've all seen this happen before. That's probably why our glitter glue is better in some of these instances. Okay, I don't want to cover all my stitching. Not that I really stitched anything, so. Oh, see, I shouldn't have put it. Not ready to glue it down yet. I'm just making a thing. Making a thing. Get rid of that till I'm ready for the final gluing. Okay, let me do something about this. Now that is kind of, hopefully I can. Just frizz this up a bit. Okay, let's try this baby in situ and see what we have. This is kind of an unfortunate line here. Sorry, I have to hold it up so I can see it. You guys might be screaming solutions from home, but if I can't see it, I can't figure it out. Something is missing. That might help there. Whoops. Oh, yeah, I guess. Show it right side up, for heaven's sakes. Now I could, but that's so sheer that the glue will show through. I was going to say, I could, well, okay, I'm going to put one up here. I think that's pretty well decided. So let me get a wee bit closer, or at least kind of pretend that I was fussy cutting this or something. Now it will make contact with the paper in a few places, so hopefully the fraying will not continue. I think I'm going to, you know what? Why don't I just use, I don't have a glue paper here. I'm going to use this glue stick. And you know, I can do anything. I have the power to do anything. I could use gems, I could use buttons, I could do whatever to finish this off. I could, you know, like, hey, once I figure out what is required, I can make it happen. So let's not panic. She said optimistically. Yes, we're not going to panic just yet. We're not going to panic ever, because we know that there's always a workaround. Okie dokie. Now I do have other pieces, because you can see while I was at it, I did make a few of these, different sizes for clusters, for fabric flips. Where is that black? Oh, right here. Let's just sort of, and I would not, I mean, tearing doesn't really work on this fabric, or at least it hasn't for me in the past. So that's why I'm not trying to do that. But it does sort of help to lighten up that bottom area. But I think I'm going to just reserve that for now, because I don't know, to be honest, if it's going to be needed. Didn't exactly make contact here, so I'm just adding a little dab, because I don't want these little tips of the petals to be, you know, ripped off or curled back, or so we do have to have a little adhesion there. Okay, I think that for now, we're going to call it a day. Now, if this continues to bother me, I might have to chop that down a bit. Is this where you have to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at it? I don't know. Okay, I can't make you do this anymore. If you haven't already done so, I hope you choose to subscribe. If you are already a subscriber and regularly give me a thumbs up and comment, well, my goodness, you're on my A list. And I will be back to finish this journal. I think one more video should do it. And by then you'll see what I have decided about this cover. You know, sometimes sleeping on it, putting it off across the room, looking at it, letting it, your eye be surprised by it. And will show you exactly what is wrong or what needs a remedy. I'm not doing anything with these tails until I know what I have to do with these tails. Maybe I have a gemstone or a piece of jewelry that would finish this off perfectly. Maybe I need to cut around one of these flowers. Again, which is the right side here? I'd say this side is. Anyway, I can't torture you anymore. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Be well and keep crafting. Bye.